Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and a special hello to the GearVR gamers. I haven't reviewed a new GearVR game in a while, so today I'm doing a GearVR head-to-head video. At the time of this video, there are two burger making games on the GearVR. Perfect Burger and the Caterer. Are they any good? Which one is worth your time? Let's find out. Perfect Burger was released on March 15, 2017, is published by VR, and is completely free. That's because this game is essentially a promotion for the VR device itself, which is a 3D camera that can completely capture your body movements for use in-game. The base model of the VR costs $400 which is an insane amount of money to drop on a mobile VR accessory. Of course, if you're spending that amount of money, you probably have a decent VR PC anyway, but then Perfect Burger probably isn't what you intend to use it for. So I'm going to assume that most of you, like me, do not own a VR system and will be treating this like a regular point-and-click GearVR title. The Caterer was released on March 22, 2017, was created by a solo developer studio called Elusive Creations, and is currently available for $2.99. The Caterer is the first game from Elusive Creations, who says further content updates are in the works and will be available at no extra cost. In Perfect Burger, you're standing behind a drive-thru window making burgers. A customer pulls up in his car, you look at the order for assembly instructions, and click and drag to make the burger. You play for a set amount of time, and the burger constructions appear to be random. The faster you make the burger, the more money you get. If you make the burger incorrectly or don't stack it properly, it'll be rejected and you don't get paid. And that's all there is to it. You can play again to get a high score, but there's no progression. Point, drag, drop, repeat. It's entertaining, especially if you try to see how fast you can go, and you do get into a sort of burger making zen. Not bad for a free game, but you probably won't revisit this one too many times. The Caterer takes a different approach. The phone rings and you take a food order, which then appears on the board. But unlike Perfect Burger, the Caterer opens up a whole kitchen to you. You have a deep fryer, grill, burger station, and soda fountain at your disposal, and the orders coming in make quite varied use of these. You start off with limited capabilities. You can serve plain burgers, fries, and water. But as you fill orders, you unlock menu items like onion rings, cheese, and additional sodas. And this actually provides a pretty compelling reason to keep playing. As you unlock more items, the orders get larger and more complex, and you end up multitasking in your kitchen just like real cooks. I especially like how you have to watch the burgers so they don't burn, which gives the game a bit of urgency. There is no time limit, and each order gives you the same amount of experience, which I think is a missed opportunity. I think the gameplay would be even more compelling if orders paid corresponding to their items, plus gave a bonus for speed, and you could choose items to unlock with your cash instead of having predetermined items unlock at each experience level. The controls in Perfect Burger are standard point-and-click fare for the GearVR. Turn to the item, touch the touchpad to pick it up, and release the touchpad to drop. Simple as that. The Caterer uses the same point-and-click controls, but it gets just a bit more complicated. You click to pick up, and click again to drop. This is because you'll be carrying items between the stations and back to the order table. You also look at the station name and click to move, which works well with only the occasional problem. If you miss the station name when you click to move, you can unintentionally drop your item on the floor, and depending where you drop it, you might not be able to pick it back up, and you'll have to start over. Not a big deal, but picking stuff up could be easier. The graphics in Perfect Burger are clean and polished. The kitchen and burgers are simple but nicely textured. The instruction posters and flip cards look beautifully authentic, and the stacks of cash behind you fall on the floor when you really work for it. Mo money, mo problems, right? Just two flaws stick out in the graphics here. First, the guy coming through the drive-thru is the same guy, just with different colored hair, which seems like a cop-out. He's also pretty ugly, but I'm no Ryan Reynolds myself, so I'll let that slide. Second, sometimes the burger will fly off in a random direction or just explode, even if it's made properly. It doesn't happen often, it's just weird. The graphics in the Caterer are a little more primitive, but that's not my main issue with them. The models use very few polygons and are solid colored and flat shaded, a bit like Job Simulator. But all the menu items are absolutely recognizable, and you're never asking yourself, what the hell is that? Even the soda fountain pours liquid into the cup, and the liquid rises as it's filled, which is a really nice touch, though perhaps the soda could look a bit less like steam. The burgers also change color so you know they're done, again a great touch and great feedback for the player. But it's the kitchen itself that needs some work. The red walls and complete lack of windows makes the kitchen feel drab and prison-like. This game would benefit hugely from a brighter color palette overall, and perhaps a window or two depicting some landscape outside. Nothing functional, purely aesthetic. It would also help with sales. I'm sure this game is losing customers because they're seeing the screenshots and being turned off. The sounds in Perfect Burger are all fitting and pretty basic. There's a single music track that loops, albeit at a pretty low volume. Standard grill sounds abound, and the kitchen feels alive, and the cars pulling up sound decent too. Nothing amazing, but it all works. The Caterer has a bit more complex sound design. Burgers and fries make noise as they cook and stop when they're done or get burned. This is quite useful when you're multitasking and trying to keep track of what's cooking without looking around all the time. My favorite part of the sound though is the radio. If you walk over to the order board, you can click on the radio and change the soundtrack. It's just a few different songs that loop, and they're all catchy, if a little generic, but the interactivity is really quite engaging. A little visual feedback would be great, like buttons or dials moving on the radio to indicate which station you're listening to, but sound-wise this is handled wonderfully. Comfort is pretty similar in both games. You'll be looking all over and turning around a lot, and there's no actual camera movement involved. But the GearVR only tracks orientation and not position, so any attempt to move out of that range, like bending over, might make you a little dizzy. That's an issue with the platform though, and not the games themselves. Control-wise, both games give you the same sense of presence. Perfect Burger has the graphical edge, but it's the gameplay of the Caterer that is more engaging and compelling, so I'd have to say it's the more immersive game. And there we have it. Perfect Burger is the better looking game, but the Caterer is surprisingly fun and addictive. Like I said, I think a lot of people might overlook this title in the Oculus Store because of the color scheme in the screenshots and possibly the title font, but they'd be missing out on something really fun. The Caterer really lives up to its title, and putting together increasingly complex orders compels me to play on. I think both of these games would benefit greatly from the new GearVR motion controller, so here's hoping they get an update for that too. I really recommend taking another look at the Caterer if you passed it by. Don't judge this one by its screenshots. Thanks for watching. Got something to say about this video, an opinion of the game itself, or VR in general? Leave a comment to let me know what you think. And if you like what you saw and you want to see more of this, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Remember, there's a new video every week, and be sure to check out my other reviews as well. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.